was born in Saint Gertrude de Nicolette. It is now called Bécancour. My father was a farmer. I lived at home until I entered the novitiate. My grandmother lived with us, and there were 10 children in the family, of which I was the last. I started to go to school. As soon as I arrived home, I used to say, "Mommy, I have a lesson for this afternoon. Will you explain it to me?" It had to be done right away. I used to say, "When I read, I'll be able to do my homework all by myself. I'll learn my lessons on my own." I was a boarding student, and it was a great big challenge because my life changed completely. The sisters were staff the boarding school, and I didn't know them. I didn't know the students who were there either. And then later I went to normal school of Nicolette and graduated as a teacher. I was 17 years old. I turned 18 that summer, and in September, I began to teach in the elementary school. I was responsible to teach reading to the children, as well as writing, counting, and the rest, just like I had learned. I was responsible. Teaching gave me joy because progress is observable. One notices at some point that the child is able to read. This gives one great, profound satisfaction, which is very nice indeed, and a part of teaching. I taught for 3 years, but then I entered the community, the novitiate, in 1946. I had an older sister whose name was Helene. I remember when she entered the novitiate. She entered at 19. We have a 10-year age difference. I was 9 years old, and I remember saying, "Hurry up and grow up, then you can come and join me." So, being 9 years old, I went to school saying, I'm going to be a sister. My sister invited us to visit the Institute for Deaf-Mute Girls in Montreal, and we had lunch there. We visited the Sisters of Our Lady of $7, who were deaf and mute, and some of them were deaf, mute, and blind. A sister sat in front of her typewriter, and she typed and then gave me the paper. On it was written Madeleine Leblanc in letters and in Braille. I was so struck by the fact that a sister deaf, mute, and blind had succeeded to read and write like I had learned to read and write. I didn't understand. I wondered how they taught the letter A if she could not hear. For me, it was a mystery. I said to myself, my God, it's beautiful that despite 3 handicaps, this woman can write. She can read and write. I thought it was wonderful. I was told the Sisters of Providence have various works. If it happens that you're not able to teach anymore, you can offer your service in another area. So that's how I got to know the Sisters of Providence. Well, then I entered as a postulant candidate. We began to learn everything in respect to the vows because we had 3 vows to profess. We had to be sure about what we were committing ourselves. After 6 months, if we were accepted, we received the habit, as it was called. We became novices. In my case, I entered in July, so I became a novice on January 18th, 1947. It will be 70 years next year. There were certainly 100 of us at that Holy Habit ceremony. We continued our formation, how to deepen prayer, how to be involved, what it means to commit living poverty, chastity, and obedience, and how to live charity and fraternity. Then I got lucky. Would you believe that for 2 ministerial assignments, I worked with Sister Jean-Baptiste? You know, she wrote several books, Faith in the Love of God and others.